This is our second show. It's actually our 192nd show. I know I introduced that back, the first one we did a couple days ago. So we started, it was 2014 was actually the first Tola Talks was on Labor Day. That was 11 years ago, LA Talk Radio. Then, we moved to YouTube. And then subsequently, we did Tola Talks 2.0. That's when I came out with the book, How to Drink from the Fountain of Youth. And then I went into Tola Talks Texas. And now it's live stream. So I want to welcome everybody on Twitch because I'm live on Twitch as well. So it's the Riverside FM. That's what the platform is. YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, X, and Twitch. So way to go. Hey, guys. Welcome. So here we go. Today's Yom Kippur, October 2nd, 2025, right? The holiest day of the year in Judaism. So what's this about? Atonement and repentance. So have a meaningful fast, everyone. Yom Tov to all those celebrating. All right, let's talk fitness because this is my foundation. Another day, another workout. Did you work out today? All right, I worked out today. And today was actually a good day. I've been having some bad days the last few days in a row. I don't know what's going on. I wake up. I don't really have it. But I still go. Still go to the gym, stretch. Stretching is a big part of what I'm doing now because of my back. Major problems with the back. And then I'm down to 20 exercises. So let me give you a little tips what I do. And I met some folks in the gym recently, and I see them doing legs. They're doing arms. They're doing, and this one girl says, what do you do? I said, I do the same thing every day. What's that? I said 20 exercises max. Sometimes it's 5. 5, I'm okay. 10, I'm having a good day. 20, great day. And I do 2 sets of 15. That's it. Boom, I'm out of there. Now it's probably a good 45, 50 minutes. And I'm telling you, 10, 15 minutes of that's working out. I mean, stretching to get my body ready to work out. But some days you just don't have it. You still go, right? Remember, another day, another workout. To me, it's a necessity. If I didn't go, I've been in tremendous pain. I'm in pain the minute I wake up. By the way, guys, I'm trying these new earbuds, something different rather than the headphones there. One of my viewers said, I want to see your face. I said, okay, we'll try something different. But get to the gym, get to your walking, swimming, whatever it is you're doing, keep doing it every single day. All right. Let's talk some RIPs. Rest in peace, Jane Goodall. You guys saw that yesterday. She passed away at the ripe young age of 91. She was by far, she was a conservationist and primatologist. It was all about creating new attitudes towards all these animals in the universe, especially the chimpanzees, her specialty, that were not so different from us. And it was about saving the environment, but more importantly, observing family and community and how these animals interacted with each other, all the things they did from adopting other chimpanzees. Talk about passion. Jane had passion. She started at the age of 26, 65 years later. She's still on tour giving speeches. And she was a big fan of Tarzan as a kid. I was a big fan of Tarzan, so way to go. Rest in peace to Jane. And I want to give a rest in peace shout out to Tom Petty. Tom Petty passed away in 2017 today, 66 years old, accidental drug overdose. Tom was, me growing up. I mean, American girl, refugee, free falling, all right? She's a good girl, loves her mama, loves Jesus, America too, right? What about, she's crazy about Elvis, horses, and her boyfriend. So, hey, how could you go wrong? She would fit right in today. So, rest in peace to Tom Petty, the great rocker, one of the greats of all time. Thinking about you today as well. All right, let's talk AI. More importantly, let's talk AI actors. Because I just followed this. You guys know Tilly Norwood? I mean, it's all the rage now. I mean, all these actors in Hollywood are going crazy over Tilly. She's an AI actor. Listen, AI actors are definitely going to be a part of Hollywood. But think about this, right? What about Bart Simpson? Okay. What about Speed Racer? He was my hero growing up. I mean, we're talking about, hey, happy birthday to Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown, 75 years ago today, he appeared, the Peanuts cartoon by, Schultz. It appeared in 7 newspapers, 1950. So way to go about that. But by the way, Bart's The Simpsons, they're doing a second movie spinoff. So What about Lassie? You know, Tweety Bird. All these are fictitious, right? So Tilly Norwood is fictitious. What is wrong with that? I mean, hey, take a look at her. You'll see she's a beautiful young woman that's going to be out there doing whatever they do. But it's just a new avenue. It's not going to replace actors. No way is it going to replace that. It's not going to replace Sydney Sweeney or anybody. Chris Pine, and we'll talk about. It's not going to replace anybody. But why not? Why not add her to the mix? You guys watch anime, cartoons, whatever. So to me, I'm all for it. Followed her. Check it out. Tilly Norwood, big fan of that. Speaking of movies, let's talk films right now because last night, you guys know, love films. And last night I watched Star Trek, a sci-fi classic. You might argue with me on this one from 2009. Man, I love this movie. I must have watched this 5 times. Whenever it comes on, I have to watch this. By the way, let me give a shout out here. I want to go back to 1981. I was a freshman, University of Pennsylvania, living in the Quad, right across the hall from me. Paul Lavin, Scott Pataski. I don't think these guys are watching, but if you are watching, give a shout out to these guys. They lived across the hall. They watched Star Trek, the original Star Trek, which was from 1966 to 1969. Remember that with William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy, Mr. Spock. He plays Spock Prime in the movie, which was really cool, bringing him into this movie. So I watched it again, had a great time. I'm telling you, I love that film. Chris Pine does a great job of James T. Kirk. You got Zachary Quinto as Spock, amazing. Simon Pegg, he's always great. Zoe Saldana, she's Uhura, she's amazing. And Winona Ryder makes a little cameo in there as his mom. She doesn't last too long. But, hey, guys, watch that movie. If you need something to do, pick it up. I think it was Miramax that I watched it on. But that's my movie today. I will talk about, as I go see new films out there. I haven't seen a new film. I did see a few new films recently, but nothing worth talking about at the moment. So that's my little plug for films. Let's see. What else do we want to talk today? Let's talk politics, right? We'll keep it short and sweet again today, the second one back. So this is day 2 of the government shutdown. But let me just point this out, right? Since 1980, right? That was the year before I went to school, senior and high school. We've had 11 shutdowns of the U.S. government. So you do the average, that's one every 4.1 years. So it's safe to say every president, there's going to be a shutdown or thereabouts. Now you're going to say, that's not true. Well, do the math. 11 shutdowns, since 1980, 45 years later. I'd say these are not uncommon. Hopefully it doesn't last long for those who aren't working. But, hey, here's what I think about. The gym's open. I went to Bureau of Motor Vehicle yesterday in Indiana to get my license, car registered. They were open. Grocery stores, restaurants, everything was open, and the post office was open. So how does it affect you specifically? Again, for those working, not working, maybe potentially losing their jobs. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But I think for most of us, it's life as usual. Keep moving forward. But hopefully it'll get resolved soon because we briefly talked about this in the first show. Is like there's a war going on in this country, right? Between people, between Democrats, Republicans. Let's take a note from Jane. It's about family and community. You got to be, we all have to love each other, I guess, or just be good to each other. But that doesn't seem to be going around these days. All right, so what else you want to talk about here? Tola Talks. All right, let's do this. I'll give a quick little talk about the book, the sub. You guys know I just put that out. And there's chapter 5 called Special Ed. Special Ed is talks about the autistic children that I taught. Now, there's a lot of news lately about autism. And let me tell you, in the 5 years I spent substitute teaching in the inner city markets, no doubt, without a doubt, the best classes I ever taught were to autistic children. They're amazing. They're happy to be there. They're excited. They want to learn. The exact opposite of what every other student in every other class I've ever taught. Happy to be there. They could barely be there. Attendance was not good in most of these schools. So It was the first semester that I was teaching. This was the winter of 2017. That was that first time. I started teaching in January. So that winter, I taught a little bit, and then it was tricky to pick up classes. This was in L.A., because I was a little man on the totem pole. You'll read about that. But basically, you got to wait for the phone to ring and hope that schools call you and hope that they like you and bring you back. But I went door to door, knocking on doors. Regardless, I went back to see my mentor, who was the head administrative person. And she says to me, why don't you try special ed? It's a lot easier. Most people don't want to teach special ed. I go, what's that? I'll do it. I don't even know what that is. And you learn that special ed, SPED, there's a lot of parts to it, but it's not just autistic children. But you can read about that in the book. But there was 2 children in that class, Victoria and Carlos. Again, in the book, I don't use their real names, but Victoria and Carlos changed my life. Because teaching them, I had a breakthrough with both of them. I'm not going to get into what it was with the breakthrough, but it was an amazing breakthrough. I loved teaching that class. I think I lasted 21 days, maybe 30 days, not sure. I wanted to stay. They wanted to get rid of me. It's cheaper in LA if you just hire day-to-day subs instead of a long-term sub. But either way, had a great experience. So autistic children can teach you a lot, no doubt. So let's do this real quick. What's going on in the markets today? It's it's coming up on noontime, I guess, and the Dow Jones is down 125. The Nasdaq's up 14. It's minimal. What about my 3 core cryptos here? Bitcoin is pushing 120,000. It's 119,550 right now. Ripple, again, I own these 3: Bitcoin, Ripple, Ethereum. Ripple's pushing $3. It's 2.979, and Ethereum is at 4117. I think Ether's going to break through 5,000 pretty soon. Ripple's going to probably be back around $3.50. And Bitcoin, I think, goes to 125. All this, I believe, by the end of October. And then we'll ride out the year. I'm not sure where Bitcoin's going to end up, but I'd say somewhere between 125 and 130. I definitely see Ripple in the mid-3s. And Ether's, like I said, over 5, maybe pushing 6. So there you go. My Tesla, of course, big fan. Shout out to Elon Musk, that 445. Happy there. And I also own Vertical Aerospace. Not that you guys are into that, but you check that company out, EVTL. I own a bunch of shares there because I believe in electric and the future of electric. That's going to be aviation. So check it out, London-based company. All right, guys, that's it for today. Tola Talks number 192. Thanks for tuning in, live streaming. And again, go check out those other sites. We'll see you soon. Peace.